Hey there guys, my name's Mike Killen. I run an online training company called Sell Your Service, and I've been seeing a lot of Zoom calls happening recently. I myself just got off a training session from my gym with a class of about 12, 15 people. It ran via Zoom, and I thought I'd give a few hints and tips about how to use Zoom and have a better experience with it. So we are currently joined on the call by one of the Xenomorphs from Alien and Buddha here, because they're going to be helping us out, showing us some of the features and demonstrations. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave this meeting and we're going to start kind of from scratch. For example, I used something like this and I clicked through to this button and it will open up a Zoom page. This link up here is actually the one that kind of matters, and you might get something through that looks similar to that. You might have a Zoom link that looks like this. You might have a Zoom link that looks like this. It actually doesn't matter as long as it's got zoom.us/J and then a bunch of numbers. As you can see, it sometimes has like a password or user IDs. My advice would be don't worry about it. Just trust in the system. So I'm going to click through to this. And it's going to say, if nothing prompts, download Zoom. If you haven't already downloaded Zoom and tried it, then it'll take you through that process. I've already got Zoom, so I'm just going to click go ahead and open Zoom, and it will connect me. So you can see there's 3 versions of me here because I'm using 3 versions. Immediately, it'll jump you either into this mode, which is what we call gallery view, or speaker view. And one of the big problems that people have with Zoom is the speaker view kind of jumping about. For example, here, the kind of little videos up the top here mean that the person in the middle is the only one being seen. However, if I'm talking, it might jump over to me and it might show me. And I have seen a lot of people say, oh, your video's gone, but it's there and they can kind of see it. So the first thing to note is up in the top right here, we can switch between seeing multiple videos or having one big video. And typically that one big video is whoever's speaking. However, if everyone is not muted, so that if everyone can be heard, then that speaker view can kind of jump around, and that can be quite irritating for people, because it can kind of mean that one view comes in and then the next view comes in and then the next view comes in, and it's like really irritating. So what you can actually do is, if you hover over the person that you want to see consistently and you're not really bothered about seeing other people, you can actually come up here, hover over their little video, click the blue box up here, and you can pin their video. So let's say that it's the alien here who does our main talk. I can pin their video, and it means whatever happens on their screen will constantly stay on, even if everyone else is unmuted and there's lots of activity and lots of noise. So it means that I can consistently see, for example, if it's a coach or a presenter or a speaker or whatever, and it's jumping backwards and forwards, I can really easily see them. If I click back to gallery view here, that'll just show everyone's view. You can see this green box around the outside. That basically means whoever's speaking. That's kind of what that refers to. And I'll go back to speaker view here, and we can jump back. There's a few other little things I want to go through. Down at the bottom here, in a meeting, in a thing called a Zoom meeting, you have, if you hover over it or move your mouse over the screen, you'll come up with this toolbar at the bottom. At the bottom left here, you can select your microphone and you can select your speaker. Really, really useful to go through that as a test beforehand. You can also select what webcam you use if you have multiple webcams. You can stop your video and you can start your video. You can also mute yourself and unmute yourself, which is, again, is very, very useful. Down at the bottom here, participants, this basically gives a list of who else is in the call. Let's get rid of that. We also have this chat function here. You might see that a little orange bubble come up. This is kind of the last little bit here. By clicking the chat bubble, this basically will talk to anyone else in the group. However, where it says 2 at the bottom right here, you want to make sure that you've selected everyone if you want everyone to see it, or you can private message people as well. But if you want to say hello to everyone, it'll basically pop up on everybody's chat. And if I actually come back here as my little alien and I say I am, we can see here that it's come up on the chat. So that's another really good way. Finally, the last thing here that I actually have access to is raise hand. And what raise hand does is basically puts up on the participants menu here, raise hand. You can see this little blue icon come up here, the little blue hand icon. What that means is that as a host, I can see whoever's raised that hand, and I can then go to them and directly ask them a question, and then I can lower it myself. So I can say, okay, that question's been answered, I'll lower that hand, or the host can actually lower my hand for me. This doesn't actually do anything apart from notify the host. See, there we go, my hand was lowered automatically. All this does is notify the host that someone's got their hand in it. Just like in an actual meeting or in a classroom, you put your hand in the air, you're just signifying, hey, I'd like to have a conversation with someone. That's sometimes a really good way of someone saying, hey, has everyone done the exercise? Has everyone done the workout or whatever? Click raise hand if you have, and then you can just lower everybody's hands as well. Finally, just want to go over a few little bits and pieces. The mobile version is slightly different. I just want to show you on mobile as well. So you can see the speaker view here. It's a bit difficult to show you because I can't capture screens using software during a call, but you'll have a view something like this. You can still select participants, which will show you kind of whoever's working, and I can just go back here. I can say, yeah, I'm done with that. What I can also do is I can swipe on the video and it will show me that gallery view like last time. And if I go back, it'll show me the speaker view. And similarly, if you just tap the screen once, that'll bring up all your options and you can go to join audio, start your video, and do all this other kinds of stuff. So that's using the mobile version of the app as well. So yeah, that's just a few like little pieces about Zoom that I find very, very useful, and hopefully as a coach you might find that useful as well if you're using it as a facilitator. In the meantime, guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.